Well, it's been a little while since I've done an update on new construction in Kakaako, and I figured today would be a great time because they finally got this pedestrian bridge now open over Ala Moana Boulevard. We're gonna check that out. But yeah, the last time I did one of these updates is, I'm guessing, probably close to a year ago, and a lot's changed. So behind me here, you have Victoria Place. That was capped off a while back, and all the owners got their keys there late last year, like in November. So that's a beautiful project, Victoria Place. We've now got a track record with resales there in MLS. There's been a lot happening there. It's one of my favorite projects because it's the only one at this point that Howard Hughes has done without any retail aspects, so it's very private. Sorry if you hear some construction going on. This is definitely a construction zone. You'll see cranes here behind me, and I'm going to flip this camera around. The sidewalk that we started, Victoria Place once again, and what's going on here and where some of the noise is coming from, there's still a crane up there, but this is going to be the park at Ward Village, because directly behind that barrier is a park, and that park continues across here, and then I'm going to continue on this pedestrian path here to get across the bridge. But basically the majority or bulk of all the new construction that's happening now in Kakaako is gonna kind of be west of this area, kind of bordering Ward Avenue, and then heading west. So yeah, we got like a nice water feature here. This is my first experience, so I just you're taking it in as I am. Victoria Ward Park. What I love about Ward Village is it's all private, so you see there's park hours. That's why you don't see, I'll just be honest, you don't see any homeless kind of hanging out around here. They have private security. So, it's ADA friendly here with the ramp. They've got federal funds. You got a beautiful statue here, more of a crane. And then I'm able, so I'm gonna take the stairs here. And then I may have mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but Howard Hughes or Ward Village, they've taken over. That's a great perspective back here this way. That's actually gonna be Ko'ola there as well. And then behind there is Waiea. But Ward Village, they have a master lease to kind of maintain Kewalo Basin here, which have a lot of yachts and glass bottom boats and snorkeling and diving. So it's a really cool waterfront place that you get a great perspective from some of the infinity pools here at Victoria Place. But here at Kewalo Basin, I might just stop here because this is going to be a good perspective. We're going to pan to the west, like I mentioned. And so here on this corner, which is, part of what we talked about earlier, which is going to be, we'll talk about it later, but where the former Ward warehouse was, this is going to be Kalae on this corner. So front row, Ala Moana Boulevard, you're going to have these views. And then across the way, for those of you that can remember, that corner there is going to be the Launiu. That's also developed by Howard Hughes. And you can see some crane action there, but that's where the former Bank of Hawaii lot was, directly across Ward Avenue there. And then beyond that, in the distance, is going to be Aaliyah. And that's the tower you see going up out of the ground there. That's done by the Kobayashi Group. That's a high quality project. I've got several clients that are under contract over there, and they're going to have really nice amenities and great views out this direction. And some clients that I have are going to have views you can't quite see from here, but out towards Diamond Head in this direction. So let's continue down to Kewalo Basin. Give you an idea on the landscape architecture across the way, which they've done a great job with. Once again, that's going to be the park at Ward Village. And this ramp will take you around, but I'm going to go down the street here, and then we'll catch up in a little bit because there's one more exciting project I want to tell you about. As we head west down Ala Moana Boulevard, let's take a look right here at Kewalo Basin. Gotta love that marlin. Okay, let's continue on. Well, you got to definitely embrace that tradition of sport fishing there at Kewala Basin. As we continue west, heading down Ala Moana Boulevard, we're going to cross the street here and come up to a couple more newer construction projects on the Mauka side. Okay, so once again, right behind me is going to be Aaliyah. That's going up out of the ground there now. You can see they're now up like 3 or 4 levels. And then the other project I want to tell you about is directly behind me over here in this block here. It's going to be 728 Ala Moana Boulevard. That's going to be Kaliu. That's going to be 285 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, and they're going to be really nice. And because if you can see here, the way that the street or Ala Moana Boulevard curves, if you saw an aerial view of this, they're going to have views not only just out towards the ocean behind me here in the distance, but also you know, down the way towards Diamond Head. So Kaliu, that's another one to keep an eye on. It's going to be the furthest to the west of everything that's going on right now. And stay tuned, we're going to head back to near where I started, or beyond that. There's 2 more towers that are going to be coming to market beyond that we'll talk about next. Okay, and the final last development isn't going to be towards the west, it's actually towards the east. It's kind of some of the prime real estate. Ward Village is kind of saved some of the best stuff for last. But there's going to be 2 twin towers that are going to go up above Ward Center here in Kakaako. You know, for those of you that grew up here, you probably remember Ward Warehouse, which is no longer in existence. Well, Ward Center directly behind me here is going to be the place of the latest or final towers, which are going to be Ilima and Melia here in Ward Village. So to find about any of this new construction in Kakaako, if you're looking for a new condo or even one that's relatively new, or looking to sell a place here in Kakaako, feel free to reach out and give us a shout at 808-371-3509. Mahalo.